It's been about 2 months of Empress Gretchen Whitmer's reign on Michigan. And as if demeaning gun owners wasn't enough, she is now targeting innocent 77-year-old men that just want to cut hair.
I'm too old. You know, I don't care about all this stuff, this nonsense. All I want to do is work.
A 77-year-old Michigan man named Carl Mankey is a barber in the town of Owasso, about 40 miles northeast of Lansing. He's been in the haircutting business since 1961 and opened up his own shop, Carl Mankey's Barber and Beauty, in 1965. That's 55 years of business. More importantly, that's 55 years of business grinded to a halt due to the orders of one woman. On March 24th, Governor Gretchen Whitmer ordered the shutdown of non-essential businesses, which did include Carl's barbershop. Carl did shut down his business and complied with the governor's orders. Fast forward almost 2 months later, and the shutdown still has not been lifted and has put small business owners like Mankey in a bind and forced to make uncomfortable decisions. Their options are to continue to comply with the order and let their businesses go bankrupt, or open up shop against the governor's orders and risk legal action from the state. Carl Mankey chose to do the latter, and the tyranny that Governor Whitmer brought down upon him as a result will make you weep for our country.
Do you want to walk you out in handcuffs? Are you prepared for that?
Well, what are they going to do? Give me life?
But before we get into what happened, please visit patreon.com/Caitlin Bennett to directly support my work and help me get security for when I can finally go outside and film again. To pay this monster, make sure you go to patreon.com/Caitlin Bennett. You can support my work to pay for this monster of a security guard. For just $5 a month, you can gain access to my private Facebook group, and you can also get super cool perks such as an autographed photo in the mail every month, or your name right here in the description of every YouTube video. You can also go to cameo.com/KateMarieOX for a personalized shoutout video from me, or visit CaitlinBennett.org for t-shirts, supplements, and more to support my work, look fresh, and live healthy. It's no wonder that Mankey told NBC News that he simply had to reopen his business because his bills were piling up and he had no one else but himself to pay them, and that he just couldn't remain closed. Mankey said, "I had no income. There was nothing coming in." Seeing no other choice to be able to stay in business, he opened his shop back up on May 4th. Mankey said he wasn't trying to prove some point. He just needed to get back to work. Last week, he was handed a misdemeanor citation that could lead to a fine of at least $1,000 and was charged with a health department violation and for violating Governor Whitmer's stay-at-home order. This poor 77-year-old man just trying to pay his bills then wound up having his barber license stripped by the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, an action that was taken to sidestep a judge that refused to make Carl shut down his barbershop. So let's dive in. The Michigan Attorney General's office actually asked a Shiawassee County judge to sign a temporary restraining order against Mankey on Friday, but the judge refused to sign off on it. Judge Matthew Stewart actually said that the Attorney General's office had not shown that irreparable injury would come about from waiting for Mankey to show up in court and defend himself, something all of us are entitled to in this country. The Attorney General's office tried to convince the judge by saying Mankey was an immediate threat to the public by cutting hair, but the judge still stood strong on his argument that he deserves a chance to defend himself in court. Now that could have been the end of it and he would have had his day in court, but that wasn't good enough for Whitmer. She had to be in control of the situation, so government did what government does. They used the state to punish him. They suspended his license, and one of Mankey's attorneys stated he believes it was their way of acting when the judge wouldn't. Mankey's attorney Dave Coleman said, quote, "I think it's totally vindictive. It's petty. It's totally in retribution because they didn't like the court order from earlier this week." Coleman also called it an abuse of power. Duh. And of course, the Attorney General of Michigan, Dana Nessel, worshipped the people who stripped Carl of his barber license. She called the action, quote, "absolutely the right move," and said, quote, "I 100% support them. I really hope people will look a little deeper and understand the state's motivation when it comes to this particular issue." Nessel then tries to make it sound like this action wasn't in the government's interest, but the people of Michigan's. She said, quote, "This is a serious health concern. All we want to do is protect people's lives. That's our only motivation behind wanting to shut down Mr. Mankey's business." The suspension of Mankey's license won't take it away permanently, but will prohibit him from cutting hair until the state thinks it's no longer a harm to the public safety, which in government time can be a lifetime. Gretchen Whitmer is only 48 years old, and Mankey started his hair cutting service 55 years ago. That means he's been in the business longer than the Michigan governor has even been alive, and it's completely ridiculous that an old man cutting hair is being treated worse than violent criminals in Michigan. Half of all the murders in the biggest city in her state go unsolved. But it's clearly a 77-year-old man cutting hair that's the problem. But Carl, luckily, is not about to go down without a fight. He told NBC News that he wears a mask and uses hand sanitizer regularly and encourages his customers to do the same. Because of his refusal to roll over and not let his shop become non-existent, he has garnered national media attention. And subsequently, lots of supporters who are rushing from even out of state to get their hair cut by Carl.
He came a long way to get this.
Satisfied customer. Another satisfied customer standing up for our right to work and be free.
He made a really good point as well, that the government is not his parent and it never has been. He ended by saying he's not closing his doors until Jesus comes. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and share, hit that subscribe button, and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you want to support my work, you can become a patron at patreon.com/CaitlinBennett and receive cool perks like an autographed photo from me in the mail each month. Or you can go to CaitlinBennett.org and get up to 75% off and free shipping on supplements and merchandise to support my work and start living a healthy life. My favorite product is Turbo Force because it gives me all the energy I need to make it through a long day of doing interviews. There are tons of other health supplements you can choose from to keep your body healthy during these uncertain times. And check out the website banned.video to see uncensored content from conservative creators that have been erased from social media.